Welcome to Pagan Coffee Talk. If you enjoy our content, please consider donating and following our socials. Now, here are your hosts, Lady Alba and Lord Knight.
So
Beep.
Yeah, we're poping, as Lord Knight just put it. That's a little disturbing. That's a little. We're going to talk about the papacy. I don't even know how to say it. Papacy. I don't know. It has its own word, but the current pope. Oh boy.
Now wait a minute. Now I gotta ask: is this the pope that went ahead and said there is a chance that aliens might exist?
I think so. I think he did. Yeah. Look, I want to like this guy. I really did. Like from day one, I've wanted to like him. I have given him the benefit of the doubt multiple times, right? He's being called this progressive pope. He's less conservative. I mean, he is changing certain things and he's rewriting some of the laws. And
Well, why in my head do I think a progressive pope is like, let's do white wine instead of red?
yeah, I know.
I'm-
Oh dear. I mean, that's kind of funny. I'm very disappointed in him at the moment. I'm very dismayed. Because, there's been a lot of debates with his stance on homosexuality. For a long time, he was like seemingly very pro-gay.
Right.
And he was very as accepting of homosexuality as a pope can be without completely tearing down the foundation of his own religion. Or not the foundation, but let's say a very hot button topic within, right?
Right.
Recently, however, he was quoted as saying the following: "Gay people are good guys." Okay, so apparently they're only men. Go figure. "They have nice paths of faith." Oh, okay, that's lovely. Yeah. Okay, that's nice. "But if they sought the priesthood," again, apparently they're only male, "they should be instead directed to a spiritual guide or to some psychologist. Because if they became priests, gay men are likely to fail while exercising their ministry." I wanted to throw my computer across the room. So, let's unwrap this.
Is he coming out of this as the same thing as a lesbian being entrapped into a nunnery?
I don't know, because he has not even quoted on that. But yes, I guess so.
Is he equating this to guys in prisons that
yes,
we're not going to be able to
control yourselves? I'm like, what the fuck, man? So we're still on this idea that people who are homosexual are these raging, hormonal, sexual deviants who can't keep it in their pants. What the fuck?
Please. Boys from the age of 13 all the way up to 20
can't keep it in their pants.
Can't keep it in their pants.
I don't give a shit what their preference is.
All right. In general.
Yes.
And the majority of the time, it's not with anyone else.
And that's my point. It's like he's negating. They're still men.
Yes.
No matter how you divide, dissect, whatever, this is still a male member of the species who, unless he has suffered a tragic accident, has a penis. And the Pope is inferring that there's no possible way that they would be able to commit themselves to what? The celibacy, the piousness of...
but you could say that about straight men, too.
You could say it about anybody. You could say it about absolutely anybody. So, and of course, I immediately went to, well, you're a gay priest. What do you think? Granted, we don't have the same requirements.
No.
But we certainly have our fair share of rules and order and discipline.
That we expect to be.
Yes. So what is the deal? Why? How is this still happening? How is this still being perpetuated that gay men are still being vilified
Well, actually, in the past couple of years, support for the LGBT,
All the letters.
all
yeah.
the letters, has dropped. Now, the majority of this, believe it or not, is because of the T's, the Q's, and the MAP people. All the gays and lesbians are getting stuck with it on the top end of it.
Interesting.
All right, because you got pedophiles that are going around, or being pointed out that you're a pedophile, and they're going, oh, look, gay people, they're calling us all pedophile. No, they're calling you, not us. But because we're still attached to them, our support is starting to go because these people are dragging us down.
Jesus Christ.
Because you have trans women sitting there saying that they're lesbians and don't know why lesbian women don't want to date them. And then you're now transphobic.
Right.
They're sitting here telling me that I am supposed to be attracted to any trans man who says that they're gay. I should want to have sex with them even though they don't have all the body parts I like. And now we have this problem in the gay community. We're all sitting back going, okay, y'all are making a mockery because we're trying to tell y'all we don't have a choice. This is what we like. This is what I'm attracted to.
Right.
This is what turns on my... And y'all are saying it doesn't matter. We can just change it at a whim because everything's trans. All this is going on in the background, and it's pissing off a lot of people in the gay and lesbian, bisexual community because they're making us look like freaking idiots. And now everybody on the straight community is going, oh, see, we told you. We told you. Oh, it's a choice. See, it's a choice.
I'm going to be honest, I hadn't really thought about that. I have given thought to how some of the definitions, right, are evolving and changing. But yes, I have met trans people who effectively refer to themselves as straight.
Right.
And I'm like, no, that's not. No. Because prior to, you were gay. If that was your preference.
I sat here and watched the video. This woman came out and goes, I'm non-binary. I do not understand why my husband won't accept the fact that he's gay. She is a physical woman.
Yipes.
All right. I mean, how much pressure is that putting on a relationship?
Yipes. Well, I mean, it's like people who come out as trans and then wonder why their spouses are out. It's the same thing, especially, post-op. Oh, wow.
This is what's going on.
And so, of course, because the Pope, right?
Mm-hmm.
So much scrutiny, so many eyes on the Catholic Church, so many eyes on him.
Has now seen an out to
backtrack.
It's a
cop-out.
Yes.
Or it's a way to save face.
Right.
That's such bullshit.
Again. And I hate to be this way. The way I'm looking at it, the gay community did it to themselves.
Well, what's interesting to me is now, so with a statement like that, is the church preparing, shall we say, for the possibility of a trans man going, I want to join the Catholic priesthood?
Maybe.
Because, wow, would that throw...
Well, again, this is like putting men in women's prison who claim to be women.
Yeah.
You're going to put a woman inside the priesthood.
Right.
And expect everybody to behave.
Right. This is very, very fucked up because at the end of the day, I mean, we're animals. We are. Like, I mean, people are, biologically, our imperatives are, all of these things.
The only difference between us and animals is we do have the ability, if we want to override some of those basic instincts.
Correct. But the grand reality is most people don't want to override them.
No.
It's and then we add, dogma and sin and, guilt and all these things into the mix that nobody wants. Wow. So there is the possibility that he doesn't really mean what he's saying. No. It's just a blanket statement to redefine
to get the followers who are tired of all this stuff going, no, look, see, they lied.
Wow. And then, of course, you have the Catholic Church's scandals that we all know about, right? With their
Right.
own issues with priests who have taken advantage of kids and,
And I mean, it's not like their numbers are getting...
No, they're not getting any bigger. They're not.
The only way they're doing that is for, their own members to be having babies.
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of people are converting right now.
Wow. Do you think, or have you seen evidence? I'm just trying to play the other side of the coin for a minute, right? Have you seen any evidence or any indication in your time in religion, never mind craft, religion, that would indicate that gay and lesbian people would have a hard time fulfilling their duties in a priest or priestess position?
No, I think it was more of a hard time of actually finding someone to care for.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, if you go back in biblical days, less people, more sparsely.
Yeah.
You're only living in a town of maybe 100 people.
Okay.
What's your chances of finding another gay person you're actually going to like?
I mean, yeah.
So again, what are we doing back then? We're just dedicating ourselves to our families or whatever and trying to fill up that empty void that we can't.
Right. It's like somebody living in very rural middle America now and coming to terms with and going, okay, well, I'm gay, but...
I'm gay and I don't want to leave this farm. I don't want to leave this area. I love it too much. I'm going to be here. This is going to be my life.
This is it. Yeah. If somebody comes along, great. If they don't, they don't.
They don't.
Right. Interesting. And I mean, we have a long history of gay priests.
Yes.
Our founder was gay. There's at least 2 other initiated. Wait, maybe more than that. Holy cow. So
I mean, I'm trying to think here on top.
Lord Min, Lord Foxfire, yourself, Lord Oswald. I mean, more of our men are gay than they are straight.
There are always more gay men in pagan religions than there is in any of the other religions.
Yeah. And yet, we've never had any misconduct.
Mm-mm.
We've never had a situation where someone was made to feel, uncomfortable or that, I mean, we've never had an issue. And ironically, I think the one time we did have a sexual misconduct, it was a straight guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's like I worked at a job way back in the day, 20-something years old. And they all figured out I'm gay, but yet the guy I worked beside had dated like the 3 different secretaries that were there in like 3 months.
Yeah.
And the boss is like, well, we want you to wear all this special gear because we're afraid you might have a disease. And I'm like, wait a minute, I've been with the same person for like 5 years.
Jesus Christ.
And this guy next to me's done dated and screwed all your secretaries.
Yeah, seriously.
And you're worried about me?
Yeah. Who's more likely to have an STD here, guys? Wow. That is so freaking wild.
I mean, there is still those people out there that have that mindset.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, and it doesn't matter how far science advances, you're always going to have some kook or weirdo who's, coming up with theories.
When you go out there and being in housekeeping and all this, we have to do the bloodborne pathogen stuff. Do you know how many people that don't understand how in the world this stuff works?
I would venture to say most people.
I mean, to sit there and tell somebody, okay, look, if you see blood with HIV on it on a doorknob or something, if it's been there for an hour, more likely everything's dead. You can touch it just fine.
Right.
Now, if it's hepatitis B, no, you're going to want gloves and...
Yeah.
That thing lasts for about a week.
Oh, shit. Really?
Yes.
Ew. Yeah, I mean, there's so many... Oh, my God. There's just so many things. Yeah. You're getting into some specifics, like I said, that I never even thought of.
No. Well, again, this is my community. I try to keep up with the news and what's going on there.
But that blanket ass statement, I mean, yeah, I can't get over it. I can't.
It's kind of like the book bannings that they did, the supposed book bannings that they did in Florida. Mm-hmm. Yeah. When they actually just removed certain books from school curriculum.
Yeah.
And you still get them at the library and buy them online.
Yeah, but still.
All right. But again, why in the world I believe some of these books, and I've seen them, do hold very bad material in them The same law we're going to be to pull up anything where there's happens to be a gay character mentioned. I know it's going to be used in the extreme. My hope is that whoever's sitting on them boards would go, look, now you're just getting stupid.
Wow. But I still go back to that morality piece. I'm like, why would someone's sexuality prevent them from making a commitment?
It wouldn't.
If it's something that they truly believe and they're willing to commit their life to, right? Military and religion, right? Those are the two we think of, right?
Right.
If you
Because I believe in the Middle Ages, that's where in the world all the gay people were. We were all in the church because what else were we going to do?
Yeah. And I mean, the military, it's the same thing. It's, this idea that, right, because I'm gay, I cannot do my job. I cannot, it's so wild. And now, right, we've also seen that argument with parenting. And that one, I think, is even funnier because, again, we talk about, like, lifelong commitments. What do you think that it's like two gay guys think it's like adopting a puppy and you can just abandon? No. If they want to be parents and they want to adopt a child, they understand this is permanent.
Well, again, if we think about the old days when mortality rate of childbirth was low, how many times would the child survive and the father be left without the mom?
Yeah.
So again, fathers raising kids is not something new.
No, not at all.
I'm not saying we do it well.
But the idea that two people,
yeah,
whatever their sexual preference is, again, that they cannot raise a kid, it's absurd.
I mean, but don't get me wrong. I realize there are those people who are going to adopt kids for specific reasons, and those need to be taken care of immediately.
Yeah.
All right.
That's a pretty, that's
all right. But again, I think that can happen anywhere.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's and there's countless stories in the foster care system, of course, of kids who've been abused by foster families, and it's terrible. Yeah. The only thing to me that comes out of this, if we dissect it, is the idea that you really have to make sure that this decision is the right one. You and I and plenty members of Craft have said on many occasions, you cannot shove the genie back in the bottle.
No.
So, are you sure this is the right decision for you, that you want to make this sort of a commitment at third degree, right?
Right. It's sort of like
it's not too dissimilar, right? I mean, no, again, it's not celibacy, but there is a component of the oath that we are taking. Yeah, the commitment is so much greater. Others can walk away. We can walk away maybe for a little while, but it's like a bad movie character, right? Every time I walk away, they pull me back in. Like, we can't.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Lord Lou and Lady Crowmoon, both retired, quit their coven.
That's right.
And now they're sitting there and they're like, they're starting to teach and they're just half, but now they got another temple going.
That's right. Technically, Lord Min was he never actually wanted a temple.
No.
Lord Min was perfectly happy sitting around being a little scribe, doing his research papers and writing, and he would actually develop classes for other people. And yeah, you're right. And then, he retired and then and
we never
teaching.
retire.
Yeah. But it's the same thing for a Catholic priest. It's not any different. They never retire.
I mean, you never stop being a priest or a priestess.
No.
It just is.
It just is.
It just is.
Yeah. But again, this concept that someone's orientation would make that impossible is just bunk.
Or harder.
Yeah. I think for us, okay, so let's turn this more pointedly towards Craft.
All right.
Here's the only situation that I could think of. If your sexual preference is so strong that you are unable to see let's use the common terms now, right? The cis-hetero relationship or attractions right?
Mm-hmm.
That is going to make for a very difficult time in circle.
Yes.
Yeah, because a gay man has to take up that position as the representation of God, as the father, the son, the page, the hermit, the hunter, all of these roles, right, that get represented. And one of those roles is, well, let's just, to procreate.
Right.
In the very traditional fashion. And vice versa for women. If you can have a lesbian woman who has zero interest in ever coming near a penis, that's totally fine. But inside of circle has to be able to interact with those polarities and those
energies.
Yeah, and those very forces of nature to play her role
correctly.
And it's funny because I've always said this. I feel like our priests who are gay have always been more adaptive. And of course they have, because they kind of are able to come at things from both ends. Lord Oswin, long before his second degree, we kind of called him like he was like mom to so many people, right? There's a very motherly, very nurturing component
about him
of Oswin's personality, which is also sort of funny because he's like me and that he goes, ew, kids. Like, right?
Well, I, on the other hand, want to teach them stuff. Here, kids, here's how you make gunpowder.
Yeah. You're all about the, like literally like a workshop with children. And he and I are like, no. I've never given birth. I'm still capable of performing my duties inside of circle. That's where it becomes strange, right? So yes. So if that's the only way I can word it. If someone's orientation made them so blind or so unable
to work with the other,
yes, then that's a challenge.
Yes, because even Dianics will bring in some male energy.
Yes, yeah,
using the sting.
Now, what's funny about that? And the Dianics, I mean, I have a lot of thoughts on them because, I mean, yeah, they kind of do put their priest in the corner. But there are you've seen this now, right? What I call the newfangled gays. They're gold star gays. And if you don't know, a gold star gay is someone who has never had any sort of sexual interaction with a member of the opposite sex. This is more and more common now, right? Because people are coming out at an earlier age. They are able to express their sexuality to their parents who are less fazed by it, their peers. And so, yes, like I know a handful of gay people who have never interacted with the opposite sex. Whereas our generation was used to, well, I dated a woman for a bit and it was...
I was engaged.
I have one friend who, he was engaged.
When those words came out of my mouth in front of you, you sort of looked at me like...
Yeah, I was like,
what?
Yeah, and there was, right, it was very common to sort of go, well, I'll give it a try. Right?
At least let's see what all the fuss is about.
Yes. And I mean, I've asked so many of my gay friends, right? I'm like, so how was that? Oh, it was terrible. Okay. Right, that's honest. But that is becoming rarer and rarer in some cases. I joke with one of my close friends' partners all the time. I'm like, oh, that's right. You've never seen a vagina. I forget. and he gets so funny because he's like, I've seen them. I just have never touched one.
Just not up close and personal.
Right.
I've never been in the same room with one, naked.
Exactly. That's the idea. He's like, I've seen it. I mean, I know what it looks like. It's gross and I don't want to go near it. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. So that could be challenging.
See, that's the only problem I can see is if you can't work with.
Right. And how do we, I mean, we don't teach that, but how do we help people to explore? Because I believe anyway, you and I have, again, talked about it plenty of times. We always work best together in circle when there is a bit of attraction, a bit of the charge,
Yes.
right? Especially when you are officiating.
Yes.
So what do you do with that when it's not there? When it's that's a challenge.
You know, I guess you would have to be more of an actor. And at least enough to fake it to get. But again, there's a little bit different energy when you actually fill it off the people.
Oh, definitely. And I mean, that's what I mean. I think that that's not something you can fake with your circle. No. They're not going to buy it. Now, goodness gracious, dog. Do you need some coffee? His bowl is empty. He is making his need for a beverage known. This is a good point, and it is something that we do have to be prepared for in a different way. And I think a lot of times what happens with gay members of our clergy is they gravitate towards the members of the opposite sex who they just have the most fun with, right? Like, I mean, it kind of becomes like a work wife situation.
Yeah.
I think that that's a reasonable way to look at it.
Well, it's more about who you click with.
Yeah.
I can't explain to it, but when me and you were working in ritual, we seemed to be able just to automatically know how to dance or walk around each other.
But that's my point. But it's like you're like my religious husband.
Yeah.
Even though there's never been anything beyond that.
No.
That's what's interesting. And I think that that's what people have to be prepared to find.
Well, now, let me ask you, does it help that we've never done, but there's still the tension there?
Oh, I'm sure.
That you still have the Rachel tension. What is that? The Rachel Ross tension at all times?
Oh, interesting. Yeah, okay. Yeah, the Friends reference. I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. But I do think a lot of times when we hear people talk about their circles not quite working out the way they were hoping, and it is a same-sex couple, that's sometimes what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So interesting. Well, anything else? Anything to add?
No, just more coffee.
All right, let's do it.
Thanks for listening. Join us next week for another episode. Pagan Coffee Talk is brought to you by Life Temple and Seminary. Please visit us at lifetempleseminary.org for more information, as well as links to our social media: Facebook, Discord, Twitter, YouTube, and Reddit.
We travel down this trodden path, a maze of stone and mire. Just hold my hand as we pass by a sea of blazing pyres. And so it is the end of our days, so walk with me till morning breaks. And so it is the end of our days, so walk with me till morning.